Welcome everybody to another episode of Forever Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Franiel, joined by my co-host is Christian Dyer. How are we doing today, Christian?
I'm good. I've been antsy to talk about all this stuff going on, so I'm ready. How about you?
I'm ready too, man. You don't know how excited I was yesterday after we got that news. We're going to be talking about the 49ers trading up to the number 3 pick in the NFL draft this year and what quarterback we would like to see them get, because obviously they're going to go for a quarterback if they made this move. So you want to go ahead, Christian?
Yeah. So it seems like I'm one of the few people that actually am not a fan of trading up for a quarterback. I've never really been a fan of giving up that many picks to trade up that high because I've seen too many horror stories of it not working out. I mean, RG3 is a perfect example. Technically, look at Goff. Look how much the Rams gave up to him, and they already shipped him off. Carson Wentz for the Eagles, same thing. So the last 3 that we've seen haven't worked out, and I've never really felt that confident about any of the quarterbacks after Lawrence. So, maybe it works out, but from what I've seen in past years, I'm not feeling too confident. So we'll have to kind of see what happens. But I also didn't want to draft a quarterback in the first round. I was kind of hoping we'd go stay at 12 and either go another corner or maybe a top receiver. So already not being really into drafting a quarterback, now trading up for number 3. I know we're getting a quarterback, which makes me nervous because I still don't feel all that confident about any of them. Mm-hmm. So, I guess if I had to choose, I'd probably say Fields, but we can get more into that in a minute.
For sure. After this big news, this blockbuster trade that the Niners did yesterday, I've been wanting them to get a quarterback for sure. I just trying to figure out, for me personally, it's between Justin Fields, Trey Lance, and Zach Wilson. And I'm kind of liking Justin Fields a lot. I know you don't like Zach Wilson.
You're the only still fan nobody. Still nobody. Well, nobody's explained to me why all of a sudden they think he's so great, and every single Niner fan thinks he's good. I mean, I'm seeing things like, oh, I've looked at Justin Fields and he's kind of iffy in some of his film, and I'm like, so you're crapping on Fields when he's playing Division I talent, but then freaking saying, oh, well, Zach Wilson's so much better than him while he played Division III talent. So, I can really go into the Zach Wilson thing. I really still don't get it. And every time I see everybody like, oh my God, I want Wilson, he's so great on Twitter, my head wants to explode. I get so freaking angry. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. None of you actually do your homework. You don't actually go and watch any film other than 2020 where he played Division III freaking football. So most of the time he's going up against defensive lines that can't get any pressure on him. So he has all day to throw. He doesn't have to freaking improvise as much because, again, he has all day to throw. And then they play the one team they play that actually gets any pressure on him and roughs him up. Guess what happened? They lost. They didn't beat him when he finally faced a little bit of pressure. They lost. So I'd say, I keep telling people, go watch his 2019 film where he played Division I freaking football, where he played against Power 5 schools and he played against defensive lines that get pressure on him, and watch the mistakes that he makes and watch the throws he tries to force that causes interceptions. Watch the pick sixes he throws. Like, he makes dumb plays in double coverage, especially. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, the pro day, look at his throws. I'm like, pro days don't mean anything. I mean, anybody can make a throw when there's no pressure and there's nobody covering the receiver. Mm-hmm. All that matters is game day film, not pro day film. Like, yeah, he can make that throw. Well, guess what's going to happen when he makes that throw in the NFL? He's going to be freaking getting pressure, and he's going to throw that. He's going to throw that into double cover, and guess what? It's going to be an interception.
Yep.
Just because he can make the throw doesn't mean he has the tools to make the decision when to make that throw. Like, I keep trying to tell everybody, he has the worst worst quality any quarterback could have, and that's bad decision making. Did he show that much bad decision making this past year in 2020 in most of the film? No, but you know why? Because it's easy to make good decisions when you're not under pressure.
Yeah,
like everybody's like, "Oh, well, we hate." Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my man, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, I was telling you how I was watching NFL Network yesterday, the path to the draft, and they showed the grid on Zach Wilson and Justin Fields for last year's passing, like 20 plus passing rating and all that, and he was like kind of the top one. And then you went on to say, that's because he played D3 teams, and he only played, I think, wasn't it like 12 games or something like that? He didn't play that many games.
Well, they played. I think the BYU actually played a full schedule. Okay. So he did play a full schedule, and he's at what was it, like 3 points ahead of Fields in that category.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 20 plus yard throws or something. But I mean, when you're playing a difference in talent and it's still that close, I mean, really, it doesn't take that freaking much brain power to know which one's better. You got one guy with 3% ahead when he's playing Division III talent, and then you have like Fields playing, Power 5 schools. Yes, they only played 5 games or 6 games last year, so it's not a fair sample size to go off of that. But at the same time, I didn't expect Fields to go and play Clemson against a top 5 defense. The past 5 years, they've been one of the best defenses in college football, to go and absolutely light them up, and then I'm not sure if we got to really see like a fully healthy Fields against Alabama, because he did get that back injury against Clemson, but he still freaking lit them up and hit 3 points to a guy that's playing top talent to lesser talent. I don't understand. Like, yeah, Wilson has good arm strength. I've never said he doesn't. He can make throws, but he does not do well under pressure. He does not make good decisions under pressure. Can he run with the ball when there's an open lane and get a first down? Yeah, he can run. He's got some legs, but his decision making takes away from his arm strength. Like, that's the thing. When players have good arm strength, if they don't have good decision making, then it's pointless.
Yeah.
Like he's not gonna, people I think he's gonna be like what Josh Allen did to us on Monday Night Football this past year, who, when the pocket collapses, he freaking on the run and under pressure makes fantastic throws and finds the open man. That's not what Zach Wilson does. He tries to force the ball because he does not like to be pressured. He likes to stand in the pocket. And once he gets pressured, he makes bad decisions. It's the same thing we've gone over and over with Jimmy G. Jimmy G, freaking, as soon as there's pressure, he collapses. He makes bad decisions. So you guys just want a younger version of Jimmy G, or what? Like, you just want more bad decision making when they're under pressure? I don't understand it. Like, but you think because you watched one season where he played terrible talent, that all of a sudden goes from a mid-round talent to a second overall pick? Are you kidding me? Like, everybody, how does everybody ignore the fact that that's exactly what happened? Like, you wonder why there's so many draft busts when it comes to quarterbacks in the NFL, because you get a hype year when it's way overhyped and way over exaggerated, and then boom, they get into the NFL and they're like, oh crap, I don't know what to do. Thanks, guys, for putting me into this thinking I was this good because of 1 year.
So
it's all smoke and mirrors, but nobody sees that. This season is smoke and mirrors. Like, I watched the guy play for the past 3 years because I live in Utah where he plays football. So I've watched the guy play for the past 3 years.
Yeah. So, I mean, what if, because I even talked to a couple of my buddies yesterday too, and about this trade that they did yesterday, and they're like, I think the Niners are going for Zach Wilson. And if they do, I mean, what if Kyle Shanahan, works with him so much to where he can be a really good quarterback in the NFL?
You can't teach or fix bad decision making, dude. You can't. Like, Jameis Winston has all the talent in the world. He can make every single throw in the field. He can force the ball and still make the throw because his arm's that good, but he makes terrible decisions. That's why he had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions, because he is a bad decision maker and forces the ball when he's under pressure. But that's the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't fix that. You can't fix bad decision making. That's just who the quarterback is. Why do you think Tom Brady's been so good?
That's true.
He gets rid of the ball fast, and he doesn't make many bad decisions. He doesn't throw many interceptions. He doesn't force the ball, and he finds the open guy, but doesn't force the ball when he, So he's. Why do you think they win all those years? He doesn't throw interceptions. He's a good decision maker. You can't teach that. That's just quarterbacks have it or they don't.
Yeah. Well, enough about Zach Wilson for now. Let's talk about Justin Fields. I mean, say the Niners draft Justin Fields at 3.
Okay, so he probably fits in our offense the best. As much as Kyle Shanahan's offense, as much as there's all the, pretty much what we call it shake and bake with all the craziness going on, and finding ways to get receivers open. And a big part of his offense, is getting the quarterback on the move and finding the open receiver. Obviously, Fields that's what he's best at. Like if you look at his stats on the rollouts with Ohio State, he's got the best of all the quarterbacks. They ran a lot of those plays at Ohio State, and he's probably got the best accuracy while out on the run, which I think is what Shanahan wants. That's why I would be surprised if it ends up not being Fields, because, I don't think we want a guy that's going to run with his legs and get a lot of yards with his legs. I think we want to move the ball through the air.
Yeah.
And I think Shanahan's going to try to get, wants a guy that can still throw the ball and, but is mobile to extend the play, which we haven't had with Jimmy. We don't get many extended plays because he just kind of gets stiff in the pocket when it collapses. So we need somebody who can escape and make a good play on the run. I'm sure that's what Kyle was thinking, even especially after what Josh Allen did to us. He's probably thinking, man, I need a quarterback like that. And if that's the kind of quarterback he wants, then I think Fields fits that the best, because his stats even show that he's the best on the run. He's the most accurate when he's rolling out than any of the other quarterbacks. He's even probably more accurate than Lawrence when it comes to rolling out. Lawrence, obviously more of a pocket passer, but he would fit, I think, the best in the offense because, he is accurate. But I think it's just mostly his ability to throw the ball in the run. Because I think if we did have a quarterback that can excel at that, I think a lot of our play calling would be getting the quarterback out of the pocket and making plays outside the pocket.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing that we need to as well, is a quarterback that could still throw on the run, out of the pocket, and not just mobile in the pocket.
So I know that it's probably the other one's Trey Lance.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about Trey Lance, so that's why I can't really speak on him, because he's the one game that I have not seen play much. I don't know much about him, so I kind of can't really say much when it comes to Trey Lance. But he's, I think, he also has a strong arm. I've seen that, but he is kind of a power running quarterback, so he can run the ball.
Yeah.
And we saw in the one game that they did play this past year, he ran the linebackers over. So he might be more I just wonder if he's more of a run first guy or if he's a pass first guy. I don't know enough about him. I think if it's between Fields and Lance, I think it just depends on what the Niners prefer. If they prefer a guy that can roll out and make plays and don't want somebody that's going to run with the ball as much, then they probably go Fields. But if they want a guy that can extend plays but also get us a lot of yards with his legs, then they're going to go Lance, because that's probably, if we want a guy with picking up a lot of yards with his legs, it's Lance. If you want a guy who can scramble and make accurate throws, it's Fields. So it just depends on which one they're preferring, which obviously we don't know, because since we've had Kyle and Lynch at the helm, they always surprise us. We never know what the hell they're doing.
That's very true.
So,
I don't think we expected them pulling off this yesterday.
Yeah, well, I mean, I didn't see Ayuk and Kinlaw coming either. It completely caught me off guard. So,
I mean, it's just crazy what they can do and surprise the fans, you know.
Yep. You know, and then it's funny because a lot of people are saying Mac Jones now, and I don't get it. Like even our other 49er Hive guys, they're like, no, thank you. Like none of us understand the whole Mac Jones stuff. Like he's, I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback, but we could easily get him at 12. Why would you give up 2 first rounders for a guy that is going to drop to 12?
Yeah.
And they were saying the Niners were playing around with trying to trade up for the 3rd, 4th, or 5th pick.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But it makes sense of getting the 3rd because they have to think that Atlanta was going to take their guy if they didn't get the 3rd pick.
And
the only guy I see Atlanta taking is Fields.
Same.
So I don't know what to make of it because I see Atlanta taking Fields and I'm like, well, if the Niners want Fields, they know they have to get ahead of Atlanta.
Yeah, and I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, if they were asking to get ahead of Atlanta's pick, that means that Atlanta was probably going to try to get their guy for sure. And I mean, that gives me more hope thinking that they are probably going to draft Fields. But then again, who knows? Because they surprise us all the time.
Yeah, because it's weird. It's weird because I don't know if the Falcons would want Lance if Fields isn't there, and the only other team that would want to draft up to that 4th spot would be the Panthers. But I doubt that the Falcons would ever trade with their division rival.
Yeah,
because I feel like if we take Fields, then and the Falcons pass on Lance, then he'll probably go to Carolina. But we could see 4 quarterbacks right off the bat.
That's true.
I still am not sure. I think that if we'll only know for sure if some in the next couple of days Darnold gets moved by the Jets, then we'll know for sure that they're taking a quarterback, which will actually make me feel better. Because right now I don't feel good because I don't want to have to think of the thought of us drafting Wilson because I will freaking break stuff. I will go on a tangent, and I might turn in my Niners card for 2021. I will be that mad.
Well, so I don't know. Did you watch Path to the Draft yesterday at all? With
No, I didn't get a chance to watch any of it.
So I know that John Lynch was at the BYU Pro Day, and so was Robert Saleh. So I'm really thinking, what if Robert does go Wilson at 2?
I think they probably are because, Lynch was there, but we also made the see, I don't know if the pro days even matter because we made the trade like right as that pro day was starting for BYU.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we're probably going to see Donald moved here in the next couple of days, I would assume, because I mean, they didn't just have Saleh there, dude. They had the GM there, they had Saleh there, and the offensive coordinator there.
Yeah.
When you have all 3 of your guys there, they're going to probably take him.
Yeah, exactly.
To me, I don't really get the whole pro day thing. I like watching, the combine because it shows us what the guy's athleticism is.
Yeah.
But when it comes to quarterbacks, especially throwing the ball on either combine or pro day, it doesn't tell you anything. Oh, well, the guy can make a throw. Well, does that, that doesn't always translate to on the field.
Yeah.
So the whole pro day thing, I don't get because everybody's like, oh, well, they have to take him now because the pro day. I'm like, oh, man, the pro day doesn't tell you anything.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to kind of throw a curveball here, but what if Urban Meyer tends to kind of mix up the draft a little bit and goes after Justin Fields for the first pick?
He could do that. I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but
I think they're always around Lawrence. Like they didn't even show up to BYU's pro day. They weren't even there. So it's obviously, I think they're going to take Lawrence. You don't pass up on a guy like that. That's like the Colts saying no to what's his name? Andrew Luck. That's like them not taking Luck at 1 when he was available. Like they're going to take Lawrence. They're going to take Trevor Lawrence 1. Like we've known that from the start. He was going to be number 1 when he came out of the draft. But for me, I think the one mix-up that I would think would be funny, because not that it's going to happen, but because the Niners always trick us and love to surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
My big surprise, even though I know it's not going to happen, my big surprise would be the Niners trading up and then taking the best player in the draft, Penei Sewell, offensive tackle. I mean, I would be stoked.
I feel like some fans would be stoked and some fans would be like, dude, seriously, like this was our chance to get a quarterback and you didn't.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's our chance to get a quarterback, but like again, I don't think the quarterbacks are really that worth it, in my opinion. And then you get a guy like Sewell. I mean, that guy's going to be one of the best tackles in the league for the next 10 years. And can you imagine having at left tackle, you have Williams, and at right tackle, Sewell? Dude, we'd have the best offensive line in the league. We'd have the best 2 tackles. And then I really wouldn't be worried about Jimmy, because if Jimmy's got time to throw, he's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
If we had a line that could protect Jimmy and give him enough time to throw, we'd be just fine. When Jimmy has time to throw and find the open man, he's fine. So for me, I don't have a problem with that pick. I'm sure people think I'm crazy and would lose their shit if we don't take a quarterback. But if we took, who I think besides Lawrence is the best player in the draft,
mm-hmm.
at Penei Sewell, then I'd be stoked.
Interesting. I didn't even think about it like that either. That'd be an interesting pick for sure.
Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen, but
I don't think so either. But I'm just saying, like, if it did, I would like to see, like, what would a lot of the fans say and what would their, opinions be on it.
I mean, you can't really.
To be honest, hate that pick. Yeah, to be honest with you, I mean, look at last year. Like, nobody saw the Niners picking Javon Kinlaw, and they did. And I mean, even though we were all injured and everything, he had a pretty good season, and I think he's going to have a phenomenal season this year.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, I mean, with Bosa back,
mm-hmm.
he'll do really well with Bosa coming back. I think Armstead will do better with Bosa too. Just having Bosa there makes a big difference.
Definitely. So, and now having Sosa on the other side too, and then hopefully if D Ford stays healthy,
Yeah, maybe he comes back halfway through the season. I mean, if he can play, I'd totally be cool. Just if I lost my train of thought.
You want to go ahead and answer?
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I can answer that. So I get what you're saying, but I'd say even an offensive tackle is worth that much capital. When you think about it, I mean, look at the how much craziness they made over Williams, who's in his 30s. That he was the top free agency, top player in free agency. Like they had him rated number 1 over any other player in free agency this year. Offensive tackle in his 30s was rated the number 1 guy, and so that tells me when it comes to offensive line, it's the most important. And I have no problem giving up 2 firsts for the best offensive tackle in the draft, and who can be a starter for you for the next 10 plus years and dominate in this league. I mean, because for me, that's a for sure pick. If you're taking an offensive tackle like that, that's a for sure pick. You are guaranteeing protection for 10 plus years, compared to if you draft a quarterback, they could be a bust in 1 to 2 years. And then you're like, well, we're starting all over and we screwed ourselves. You don't screw yourself. You take Like most of the time, tackles like that are for sure thing, and you feel good about it, and you're going to feel good about it 10 years later. That's to me, that's way more for sure thing than taking a quarterback you don't know how they're going to pan out. Because we have way more busts when it comes to quarterback than we do, guys that pan out. But when it comes to tackles, when you get a good tackle like that early in the draft, that's one of the best. 90% of the time, they dominate for 10 plus years.
Yes, this is true. Once again, Crash Bernie, thank you for your comment. Appreciate it. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind it if they went offensive tackle. If that ever happened, but I know it's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, like, if it did, I mean, I wouldn't mind it, especially if it's him as well. But I just still can't get over literally all the NFL analysts saying, "Oh, the Niners are going to go after Mac Jones." I'm like, dude, really? Like, come on. It pisses me off seeing how much even like Matt Miyoko is saying the same thing. I'm just like, Matt, really? You know?
I don't get it. I don't see the love for Mac Jones really. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he had, both his receivers are going to go in the top 10.
Yeah.
So both his receivers are going to go be the top two of the top 3 receivers taken off the board, probably in the top 10, maybe top 15 are going. And, one of them is a Heisman Trophy winner.
And also too, and why I don't get why would we go after another pocket passer instead of having like a mobile quarterback? Because Jimmy G's technically a mobile passer. You know what I mean? I feel like we have a better advantage with having a mobile passer.
I think that's what I think you're right. I think that's what Kyle wants for his offense. I don't see why they think they want Mac Jones. Like his stats rolling out, not good. He's not good when he gets out of the pocket.
What's up, Pro Dabber?
He's good in the pocket, but when it comes to rolling out, he's not. And if the Niners want a pocket passer, then just wait at 12 and get one. Why would you? You're not going to draft up for a guy that's just a normal pocket passer. If they want an electric guy, then you trade up to the 3rd pick and you go and draft a quarterback that's an electric guy, and that's not Mac Jones.
Yeah,
like Mac Jones is not even known to have a strong arm, that strong of an arm. Like, I mean, why would you go and get a quarterback that you're going to worry about getting the ball deep to Ayuk? Like, that's what Ayuk's really good at. He getting the ball on deep routes. So you're going to want a guy with accuracy and a strong arm, and that's not Mac Jones.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I just saw this morning, I don't know if you checked it out yet, but the Niners just re-signed Mohamed Sanu.
I mean, I saw that from some Twitter page, but I haven't seen anything official.
Either
but I like having Sanu because you bring in a veteran presence for the young receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he doesn't play, I'd like for him to stay on the team because you need that veteran presence. Like, you remember when they cut him, Ayuk was pissed because he was learning a lot, from freaking a veteran player.
I was surprised that they cut him.
We didn't have any veteran receivers on the team, that have been through it, and he was the one, and that's kind of why Ayuk obviously connected with him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it makes sense if we are bringing him back, but I would assume it's more for like a coaching the young guys role.
That's what I'm thinking too. Kind of like what Emmanuel Sanders did too.
Yeah. So I like the move. I like the move in a sense to help the young guys. I mean, we can put him in Sanu in the slot still. I mean, he's getting up there in age, so I don't know how much he can still do. But if he's there to coach the guys, That's good enough for me.
I mean, that would be bad having him in the slot as well because we don't really have a slot guy anymore because Kendrick Bourne is gone. Trent Taylor is gone as well, even though he hasn't really performed lately. So it's
I'm so
like
pissed, dude.
I don't know what we're gonna do with the slot receivers. I mean, have Richie James maybe?
Seeing what we still have in cap space and the fact that we didn't bring back Bourne just makes dude. People don't understand how intricate he was. Oh, dude, I freaking loved him, dude. He was amazing. Like he doesn't get the love that he deserves. Like the guy was always there when you needed him. Oh, he makes a couple drops against Seattle, and all of a sudden he has big drops. Like the guy was always there when you needed him. Freaking, you need a first down, there he is. You need a touchdown in the red zone, there he is.
Well, so I know too that like all the guys on the team loved him as well. So, dude, there's a special bond in that locker room for sure.
We never should have let him go. Like he's like the heart of the team kind of guy to me, and I really wish we'd have brought him back. He's just a great guy, and freaking, he's always there when you need him. It's hard to find those kind of players. Like you can get the top receivers and stuff like that can do everything, but to find a guy that's always there and always finding a way to be open when you need it most, it's hard to find. Mm-hmm. And that's what he was. And I'm glad he got the money because he earned it and he deserves it. But we should have at least tried a little bit harder to bring him back because I think he was important to our offense.
Yeah. Yeah, but once again, the 49ers traded up to pick number 3 in this year's NFL draft. We'll be excited to see who they're going to draft number 3. But I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you for tuning in today. Really appreciate it. Leave a comment. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel, Forever Faithful Podcast. Give us a follow on Instagram, Forever Faithful Podcast. And give us a follow on Twitter, FFPod49. Once again, thanks again, guys. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Later, guys.